Alright, YouTube, let's take a look real quick at the Swedish Army axe. So in front of you, you can see 4 of these from Kölefors Bruk in 1942. So there's 1 or 2 here that don't have enough marks on them to say that it's definitely from 1942, but I know 3 of these do. So that one does. Let's see. This does, and this does as well. This one, the last digit does not show on there. That's probably from the same year. As far as I know, Kölefors Bruk was sold in 1967, and they stopped producing axe heads or axes. So let's take a closer look at all of these here. Now these measurements on all these go from about 6 inches on the one on the left, as far as the width goes, about 3.5 inches on the bit. If you take a look at this one, it doesn't look like it's been used as much. Still measures about 4 inches, which tells me that this one was used more over the years since it was made than the one on the far right. If we take a look at these, so like this one is about 1/2 inch length more on the total width of the other axe. As far as I know, I believe that these were hafted with an ash haft on these. But you can see here, to me, I am not a wood species specialist, but to me it almost looks like this was hickory, at least. On this one, it seems pretty clean, so to me it seems like it may be ash. If I'm wrong, then it's going to be hickory. But I'm just trying to think of what was available at the time that they made these things. Let's take a look at these. So this one was repainted black. Now, as far as I know, they came just bare like this. What happens over the time is, for storage, they will paint these things either green or black during that time. Now, I don't see that this was ever painted green. This one is suspect. Now, to me it looks like it's been repainted green during the time. This one and this one do not appear to have been painted at any time. Let's look at the stamps. Got a KB42. There's a KB4, and then there's no last digit. Holy smokes, my phone stinks. But this says, looks like KB42 or 43. But there's a little bit of mushroom on that, so I can't tell. Now this one says KB42. And I know my autofocus isn't working very well, so I apologize about that. Now take a look at where so you see here where the stamp is, the 3 crowns. This is the only one that I have that has it down on the bottom. which I believe this is probably an ash haft. I don't know. I'm not lying to you here. I'm just telling you what I'm assuming. If you take a look at this one on the left, we have the 3 crowns at the top of the haft. I also have it here. This one, I didn't see the markings on it anywhere on the haft. So obviously these things have been in service since 1942. So it would make sense if you're using these, maybe you're going to rehaft these. But this could be the original. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not that old. I'm almost 50, but I am not, you know, was at 77 years old. So I can't tell you what happened. I just get what I get from Sweden, and that's all the information I have. Anyway, I also have owned some of the newer ones made by Hults Bruks from Sweden, and they all seem to be the same shape, size, and everything as this older KB42. Most of those were made in the middle 60s to the middle 70s. What makes the difference is that the newer ones from the 60s and 70s had like a resin inside of here to set this. All of these have just, it's hard to see on here because I'm not focusing, but they just had a wedge inside, a wood wedge. It appears to me that all these, that the heads seem to be secure, but I haven't used these. I have used this one. It was secure. I was splitting firewood for the Cub Scouts when my son had a overnighter. These other 3, you know, I haven't used them, but they still seem pretty sturdy, just having a regular wedge inside of it. So it doesn't seem like they're loose. Once again, I haven't used them to figure that out either. Anyway, I just wanted to show you a couple of things with the Swedish Army axe. Most of these orientation on these appears to be pretty good. I mean, this is not 100% vertical, but it just goes slightly angled. I think you can kind of see this, but I'll try to illustrate it. So it's going slightly to the left, but it's pretty much vertical. With this one, it's almost 45-degree angle. I think that's still gonna work well. And this one looks like it's been used a lot, but it still seems like the grain appears to be maybe 20 degrees off or something like that. It's got a nice patina on it. So does the one next to it. The other one doesn't have much of a patina on it. And this one obviously has been painted for storage during its life. It kind of has a larger eye than you would see on something that... These tend to be about 2.5 pounds in weight on the head, but there's no stamp on there that will tell you what the weight is on it. But the newer ones from the 60s and 70s tend to say 2.5 pound head on there. So I'm assuming that this originally was the same size as the one on the right. It's just been used a lot, so it's been sharpened in the army during its use. And that's why, I'm assuming that's why it's shorter. Anyway, thanks a lot for staying through the end of this video. And you have a great day.